Welcome to the second part of our course, Project Planning Framework. In this section, we will explore the key components that form the backbone of any effective project plan. A well-structured framework ensures that projects are not just executed efficiently, but are also aligned with strategic goals and stakeholder expectations. Project planning is more than just creating schedules and assigning tasks. It is about setting a strong foundation that ensures smooth execution, minimizes risks, and optimizes resource utilization. Without a proper planning framework, projects can suffer from scope creep, budget overruns, and misalignment with organizational objectives. Throughout this section, we will cover the various phases of the project lifecycle and their significance in planning, how to define objectives, scope, and deliverables with clarity, the role of the work breakdown structure, WBS, in creating a structured approach to task management, effective resource planning techniques to ensure optimal utilization of time, budget, and personnel. By the end of this section, you will have a comprehensive understanding of how to create a project planning framework that is structured yet flexible enough to adapt to project changes. The knowledge and techniques you will gain here will help you plan proactively, address uncertainties, and ensure project success. Let's begin by understanding where planning fits within the broader project lifecycle. Every project follows a structured progression known as the project lifecycle, which consists of 5 key phases: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closing. These phases provide a systematic approach to managing projects, ensuring that objectives are met while minimizing risks and inefficiencies. Understanding how the planning phase fits within this lifecycle is essential for creating a strong foundation for successful project execution. Expanded overview of the project lifecycle. 1. Initiation phase, setting the foundation for success. The initiation phase is where the project begins. This is a critical stage where the foundation of the project is established, ensuring that it is viable, aligned with business objectives, and supported by stakeholders. Key activities in the initiation phase include defining the project's purpose, establishing the business case and determining the need or problem the project aims to solve, conducting feasibility studies, analyzing whether the project is realistic in terms of time, cost, and resource availability, identifying key stakeholders, engaging individuals or groups who have an interest in the project's success or failure, developing a project charter, a formal document that outlines the project's purpose, objectives, high-level scope, and the authority of the project manager, securing initial approvals, gaining authorization from sponsors or executive leadership to move forward. A well-executed initiation phase ensures that the project has clear direction before moving into detailed planning. 2. Planning phase, the blueprint for project success. The planning phase is the most critical stage in the project lifecycle, as it defines the roadmap for successful execution. Every aspect of the project is structured, risks are assessed, schedules are developed, and resources are allocated. Why is planning crucial? It minimizes uncertainty by detailing how the project will be executed. It ensures stakeholder alignment, preventing future misunderstandings. It provides measurable benchmarks for performance tracking. Key activities in the planning phase. 1. Defining project objectives, the guiding light. Project objectives provide a clear and measurable direction. They help teams stay focused and prevent unnecessary work. Characteristics of well-defined objectives. Specific, clearly state what needs to be accomplished. Measurable, quantify success using clear metrics. Achievable, ensure objectives are realistic within given constraints. Relevant, align with organizational strategy and goals. Time-bound, set clear deadlines for achievement. Example, instead of stating improve customer satisfaction, a well-defined objective would be increase customer satisfaction ratings from 75% to 90% within 6 months by streamlining support response times and implementing a customer feedback system. 2. Developing the project management plan, the master document. A project management plan, PMP, serves as a reference guide for the entire project lifecycle. It provides detailed strategies for how the project will be executed, monitored, and controlled. Core components of a PMP. Scope plan outlines deliverables, boundaries, and constraints. Schedule plan defines timelines, deadlines, and dependencies. Cost management plan estimates budget, expenditures, and cost control strategies. Quality plan specifies quality standards, testing requirements, and acceptance criteria. Resource plan details personnel, materials, and tools needed. Communication plan establishes reporting frequency and stakeholder engagement strategies. Risk management plan identifies potential threats and mitigation strategies. A well-structured PMP acts as a reference for all project stakeholders, ensuring that expectations and responsibilities are clear. 3. Identifying resources and risks, balancing efficiency and preparedness. Proper resource and risk planning ensures that the project remains on track despite uncertainties. Resource planning identifies the people, technology, equipment, and budget required. Ensures resource availability matches project demands. Helps prevent bottlenecks and conflicts by optimizing workload distribution. Risk management identifies risks early to minimize negative impacts. Categorizes risks into technical, financial, operational, and external factors. Develops risk response strategies, such as avoidance, modifying plans to eliminate the risk. Mitigation, reducing the likelihood or impact of the risk. Transfer, outsourcing risk to third parties, e.g., insurance, subcontractors. Acceptance, acknowledging risk but planning contingencies. 4. Establishing baselines for scope, schedule, and cost. Setting performance standards. Baselines act as control mechanisms to measure project performance and ensure deviations are managed effectively. Scope baseline defines the official scope statement, WBS, work breakdown structure, and scope boundaries. Schedule baseline establishes the approved timeline, key milestones, and dependencies. Cost baseline sets the estimated budget with approved cost limits. Once established, any deviations require formal change management procedures, ensuring transparency and stakeholder alignment. 3. Execution phase, bringing the plan to life. The execution phase is where the planned activities are carried out. Teams begin work, and deliverables start taking shape. Key aspects include task assignments and workload balancing, stakeholder collaboration and communication, quality control measures, managing changes and unforeseen issues. Successful execution depends on how well the planning phase was conducted. 4. Monitoring and controlling phase, ensuring alignment with the plan. This phase occurs simultaneously with execution and ensures that performance aligns with established benchmarks. Key activities: tracking KPIs and project milestones, managing scope changes and preventing scope creep, addressing risks as they arise, providing real-time status updates to stakeholders. A well-monitored project is more likely to stay on schedule and within budget. 5. Closing phase, finalizing the project. The closing phase marks the formal completion of the project. It ensures that all requirements are met and that the project delivers value to stakeholders. Key closing activities: deliverable handover and acceptance by stakeholders, conducting final evaluations and performance reviews, documenting lessons learned for future improvement, celebrating project success. Key takeaways: the project lifecycle provides a structured approach to project management. The planning phase is critical for ensuring successful execution and risk mitigation. Clear objectives, a detailed PMP, and well-established baselines drive project success. Effective resource allocation and risk management help projects stay on track. Continuous monitoring and stakeholder engagement ensure alignment with project goals. By understanding these phases in depth, project managers can improve efficiency, reduce risks, and deliver successful outcomes. Now, let's explore the next critical step: defining project objectives and scope. Clarity is key in project planning. When project teams are not aligned on objectives, scope, and deliverables, the likelihood of miscommunication, scope creep, and project failure increases. To avoid these issues, let's explore each of these elements in detail and discuss how they contribute to successful project execution. 1. Objectives. What are we trying to achieve? Objectives are the foundation of any project. They define the purpose, goals, and expected results. Clear objectives ensure that everyone involved understands what success looks like and what the project is set out to accomplish. Characteristics of well-defined objectives. Specific. Clearly state what is to be achieved. Avoid vague statements. Measurable. Include criteria for measuring progress and success. Achievable. Ensure the objective is realistic given the constraints. Relevant. Align the objective with the strategic goals of the organization. Time-bound. Define a clear timeline for achievement. Example 1. Effective versus ineffective objectives. Ineffective objective. Improve customer satisfaction. This lacks specificity, measurement criteria, and a timeline. Effective objective. Increase customer satisfaction ratings by 15% within 6 months by improving response times and service quality. This is specific, measurable, time-bound, and aligned with company goals. A project without clear objectives is like a ship sailing without a destination. Objectives serve as the guiding compass, ensuring that all team efforts contribute towards a meaningful outcome. 2. Scope. What work needs to be done. Scope defines the boundaries of a project. It outlines what is included in the project and, equally important, what is not included. A well-defined scope prevents scope creep, which occurs when unapproved changes are added to a project, often leading to delays and budget overruns. Key elements of project scope. Project boundaries. Clearly state what work is covered and what is outside the project scope. Stakeholder expectations. Define what stakeholders can expect from the project. Constraints and assumptions. Identify any limitations, such as budget, technology, or regulatory requirements. Acceptance criteria. Specify conditions under which the project's work will be accepted. Example 2. Poor versus well-defined scope. Poorly defined scope. Develop a mobile application for customer engagement. Lacks details on features, platforms, and user requirements. Well-defined scope. Develop a mobile application for customer engagement that includes push notifications, a feedback form, and integration with the company's CRM system for iOS and Android users within a 6-month timeline. Defines the features, platforms, and timeline, ensuring clarity. Scope misalignment can lead to frustration among stakeholders and teams. Clearly documenting the scope in a scope statement or a statement of work, SOW, ensures that everyone involved understands the work to be completed. 3. Deliverables. What tangible outcomes will the project produce? Deliverables are the tangible results or outputs that the project will produce. They provide measurable outcomes that indicate project progress and completion. Deliverables should be clearly outlined to avoid ambiguity. Types of deliverables. Internal deliverables. Outputs that are necessary for the team but not delivered to the client, e.g., project documentation, test reports. External deliverables. Final products or services that will be provided to stakeholders or customers, e.g., a new website, a product prototype. Example 3. Deliverables in different industries. Software development. Deliverables might include a working prototype, source code, user documentation, and a final application. Construction project. Deliverables might include architectural blueprints, a fully built structure, and inspection reports. Marketing campaign. Deliverables might include a market research report, an advertising video, and a campaign performance analysis. Clear deliverables ensure that all stakeholders agree on what will be produced and delivered at the end of the project. The importance of stakeholder engagement in defining objectives, scope, and deliverables. Engaging stakeholders early in the project ensures alignment and prevents costly misunderstandings. Stakeholders may include senior executives, customers, end users, suppliers, and project sponsors. Their input helps clarify requirements and ensures the project meets its intended goals. Strategies for effective stakeholder engagement. Conduct requirement gathering sessions. Involve key stakeholders in defining objectives and deliverables. Use visual tools. Tools like work breakdown structures, WBS, and project charters help communicate scope effectively. Regularly review and validate scope. Hold review meetings to confirm scope and deliverables before proceeding. Consequences of misalignment. When objectives, scope, and deliverables are unclear or misaligned, it can lead to scope creep. The project expands beyond initial plans, increasing costs and timelines. Missed deadlines. Unclear objectives lead to poor prioritization and scheduling issues. Budget overruns. A poorly defined scope can result in unexpected costs and resource strain. Stakeholder dissatisfaction. Deliverables that do not meet expectations can lead to project failure. Key takeaways. Objectives define what needs to be achieved and provide a clear direction for the project. Scope defines what work will be done, ensuring that project boundaries are clearly established. Deliverables define what tangible outcomes will be produced, ensuring accountability and alignment with expectations. Early stakeholder engagement prevents misalignment and ensures clarity in project planning. By thoroughly defining objectives, scope, and deliverables, project managers can set their teams up for success, reduce risks, and ensure smoother project execution. In the next section, we'll explore how to create a work breakdown structure, WBS, to further organize and manage project work effectively. The work breakdown structure, WBS, is one of the most essential tools in project planning. It helps break a project into smaller, manageable components, ensuring clarity in task assignments, cost estimation, scheduling, and overall project execution. Without a well-defined WBS, projects often suffer from scope creep, misallocation of resources, and an increased risk of project failure. Understanding the WBS and its purpose. A work breakdown structure, WBS, is a hierarchical decomposition of a project into smaller, manageable work components. These components help project managers and teams clearly define the scope of the project, identify deliverables and required tasks, assign responsibilities effectively, track project progress with better accuracy, estimate costs and schedules more effectively, ensure that no critical tasks are overlooked. A properly structured WBS enables a structured, methodical approach to planning, execution, and monitoring, helping teams avoid confusion and misalignment. Hierarchy of a work breakdown structure. A well-designed WBS is structured in levels, ensuring clarity in project execution. It follows a top-down approach, beginning with the broadest perspective and gradually detailing smaller components. Level 1. Project title, overall project scope. At the highest level, the project title represents the entire project's objective. This is the ultimate goal the team is working towards. Level 2. Major deliverables, project phases or key areas. The second level breaks the project into major deliverables or phases. These typically represent significant milestones or functional components of the project. Level 3. Subdeliverables and work packages. At this level, major deliverables are further divided into subdeliverables and work packages. Work packages are the smallest work components that can be managed, tracked, and assigned. Example of a WBS in a software development project. Let's take an example of a software development project to illustrate the hierarchy of a WBS. Level 1. Project title. Software development project. Level 2. Major deliverables. Planning, design, development, testing, deployment. Level 3. Subdeliverables and work packages. Planning phase. Requirement gathering. Feasibility study. Project plan development. Design phase. System architecture. User interface design. Database schema design. Development phase. Back-end development. Front-end development. API integration. Testing phase. Unit testing. Integration testing. User acceptance testing. Deployment phase. Final system deployment. User training. Post-launch support. Each work package contains detailed tasks, resource assignments, dependencies, and timelines, making it easier to monitor project progress. Key benefits of using a WBS. 1. Preventing scope creep. Scope creep occurs when a project's requirements expand beyond the originally defined objectives, often leading to cost overruns and delays. A WBS helps prevent this by clearly defining deliverables and ensuring that all work aligns with the project scope. 2. Improving cost and time estimation. Breaking a project into smaller components allows teams to estimate time, budget, and resources more accurately. Work packages provide better visibility into how much effort and cost each task will require. 3. Enhancing task assignment and accountability. A WBS makes it easier to assign responsibilities at every level of the project. Since tasks are clearly defined, team members understand their roles and contributions. 4. Strengthening risk management. Since each component of the project is explicitly defined, risks can be identified and addressed early in the planning process. Teams can proactively develop mitigation strategies before risks escalate. 5. Facilitating communication among teams and stakeholders. A WBS acts as a visual representation of the project scope and plan. This helps align expectations between project managers, teams, and stakeholders, improving transparency and communication. Best practices for creating a WBS. To maximize the effectiveness of your WBS, consider the following best practices. 1. Follow the 100% rule. The 100% rule states that a WBS should include 100% of the work required to complete the project, without leaving out any deliverables or tasks. 2. Keep work packages manageable. Work packages should be detailed enough to be actionable, but not so small that they become difficult to track. As a general rule, work packages should represent tasks that can be completed within a single reporting period, e.g., 1 or 2 weeks. 3. Maintain a logical breakdown structure. Avoid random task grouping. Ensure that each work package logically connects to a major deliverable. Use a hierarchical numbering system to ensure clarity. 4. Use visual representation tools. WBS diagrams are often represented using tree structures, hierarchical charts, mind maps, spreadsheet-based formats. Using WBS software tools such as Microsoft Project, Primavera P6, or even Excel can enhance visualization and tracking. 5. Regularly review and update the WBS. As projects evolve, it's important to review and refine the WBS to reflect any scope adjustments. This ensures continuous alignment with project goals. Common mistakes to avoid when creating a WBS. 1. Mixing up deliverables and activities. A WBS should focus on deliverables, not activities. Avoid listing project tasks instead of tangible outputs. For example, instead of stating, develop website homepage, the deliverable should be website homepage, completed and approved. 2. Overcomplicating the structure. A WBS should not be excessively detailed to the point where it becomes difficult to manage. Aim for clarity, not complexity. 3. Not involving the right stakeholders. Failing to include input from subject matter experts, SMEs, stakeholders, and team members can result in missing critical deliverables. 4. Not aligning the WBS with project scope. A WBS must fully align with the project's scope statement to ensure consistency in execution. Conclusion. Why every project needs a WBS. A work breakdown structure, WBS, is a vital tool in project planning, ensuring that all work is accounted for, resources are properly allocated, and risks are managed proactively. By following a structured breakdown of tasks, teams can improve efficiency, reduce miscommunication, and increase the likelihood of successful project completion. By incorporating WBS best practices, project managers can enhance project visibility, accountability, and execution, making the difference between a chaotic project and a well-structured success. Now, let's move forward to the next section, where we will explore scheduling and resource management in greater detail. Resources are the backbone of every project. Without proper resource allocation, even the most well-structured project plan can fail. Resources aren't just people. They encompass everything needed to execute and complete a project successfully, including time, equipment, budget, and materials. Effective resource planning ensures that you have the right resources at the right time and in the right quantity, reducing risks of delays, cost overruns, and team burnout. Understanding how to manage resources properly can maximize efficiency, improve project outcomes, and enhance stakeholder satisfaction. Key components of resource management. 1. Identifying resource requirements. The first step in resource planning is to identify all resources required for project execution. These include human resources, project managers, team members, external consultants, and subject matter experts. Time allocations for tasks, project duration, and scheduling contingencies. Equipment and technology, computers, software, tools, vehicles, and machinery required for execution. Materials and supplies, raw materials, construction materials, office supplies, and consumables. Budget, financial resources needed to cover salaries, operational costs, and procurement. Each of these resource types must be documented, estimated, and scheduled to avoid shortages and excesses. Example: imagine a construction project where the required cement and steel arrive late due to procurement delays. Even if labor is available, work cannot proceed, causing costly delays. Identifying and securing resources ahead of time prevents such inefficiencies. 2. Assessing availability and constraints. Once resource needs are identified, it's essential to evaluate availability and constraints. Availability: check if the required personnel, equipment, and materials are accessible when needed. Resources may be shared across multiple projects. Constraints: consider budget limitations, time restrictions, supplier dependencies, and regulatory compliance. Skill matching: ensure the right people are assigned to the right tasks. Having resources does not guarantee success if they lack the necessary skills. Example: if a software development team needs a cybersecurity expert for a specific module, but none are available, progress may be stalled until hiring or outsourcing is arranged. Identifying constraints early helps in risk mitigation. 3. Balancing workload to prevent burnout. One of the biggest challenges in resource management is maintaining a balanced workload for project team members. Overburdening team members can lead to stress, decreased productivity, and errors, while underutilization results in wasted resources. Strategies for preventing burnout. Resource leveling: adjust schedules to distribute work more evenly across available timeframes. Task delegation: avoid overloading key personnel by distributing tasks among capable team members. Breaks and downtime: schedule reasonable breaks and recovery time between demanding phases. Early warnings: use workload management tools to identify when someone is overburdened. Example: a project manager notices that one team member is assigned to multiple critical tasks simultaneously. By redistributing tasks among other team members, the workload is more manageable, reducing the risk of delays due to burnout. 4. Capacity management: understanding resource limits. Capacity management is about assessing the limits of resources and planning accordingly. It involves evaluating team capacity against workload demands, forecasting future resource needs based on project phases, managing competing priorities across multiple projects, using tools like Gantt charts and workload matrices to track capacity. Example: a marketing team handling multiple campaigns must ensure graphic designers are not overwhelmed by too many projects at once. By analyzing capacity, the team can prioritize urgent work and schedule non-urgent tasks accordingly. Best practices for effective resource management. 1. Use resource management tools. Modern project management software like Microsoft Project, Primavera P6, Smartsheet, and Asana allows project managers to track resource allocation, predict shortages and bottlenecks, optimize workloads dynamically. 2. Conduct regular resource reviews. Resource needs evolve over time. Conducting periodic resource audits ensures that no resources are overallocated. Any underutilized resources are reassigned efficiently. Budget deviations are identified early. 3. Prioritize critical resources. Some resources are more crucial than others. Identifying and safeguarding high-priority resources ensures smooth execution. 4. Build contingency plans. Unforeseen events like supply chain disruptions, illness, or equipment failures can derail a project. Always have backup suppliers, alternative staffing plans, financial reserves for unexpected expenses. Common challenges in resource management and how to overcome them. 1. Overallocation of resources. When resources are assigned to multiple projects or tasks without considering capacity, performance declines. Solution: conduct resource balancing exercises regularly. Use workload tracking tools to monitor assignments. 2. Lack of visibility into resource usage. Without clear tracking, teams may run into delays because required resources are unavailable. Solution: maintain a central database of all resources and their allocation status. Use real-time dashboards for tracking utilization. 3. Budget overruns due to poor planning. If cost estimations for resources are inaccurate, projects quickly exceed budgets. Solution: use historical data and cost estimation models. Include contingency reserves in the budget. 4. Poor communication on resource availability. Team members may assume that resources are available when they are not, causing project delays. Solution: implement clear communication protocols. Hold regular status update meetings on resource availability. Final thoughts: why resource planning is the key to project success. Resource planning isn't just about allocating resources, it's about optimizing efficiency, avoiding unnecessary risks, and ensuring that the right people, equipment, and materials are available at the right time. A well-managed project has a clear breakdown of resource needs, balanced workloads to maintain team efficiency, a strong capacity management strategy, risk mitigation plans for unexpected disruptions. By mastering resource planning, project managers can increase productivity, reduce costs, and improve overall project outcomes. In the next section, we'll explore how risk-based project planning further enhances project success. Now, let's apply what we've discussed in a hands-on activity. Imagine this scenario. You are managing a project to launch a new product. Your goal is to create a well-structured plan before execution. Your task: define the project's objectives. What is the goal of this product launch? Outline the project scope. What work needs to be done? What is not included? List the key deliverables. What tangible outcomes will the project produce? Create a basic work breakdown structure, WBS. Break the project into major phases and tasks. To conclude this section, let's reflect on the key takeaways and reinforce what we've learned. Project planning is not just a preliminary step. It is the foundation upon which the entire project is built. Without a structured and well-defined plan, projects are far more likely to encounter delays, cost overruns, and scope creep. Key takeaways from Project Planning Framework. 1. Project planning is integral to project success. Every successful project begins with a strong planning phase. A well-structured plan sets the direction, defines roles and responsibilities, and provides a roadmap for execution. Planning ensures that project goals are clearly defined and aligned with organizational objectives. Risks and uncertainties are identified early, allowing for proactive management. Teams operate with clear guidelines, minimizing confusion and inefficiencies. Resources, budget, and timelines are properly allocated and managed. Without a solid planning foundation, projects risk falling into reactive management, where teams struggle to adapt to unforeseen challenges. Planning empowers teams to be proactive rather than reactive. Real-world example. Consider the case of a large-scale infrastructure project, such as the construction of a new airport terminal. Without proper planning, coordination between multiple teams, architects, engineers, contractors, and government agencies would become chaotic. Detailed planning ensures that every aspect, from permits and environmental impact studies to budgeting and construction timelines, is accounted for before breaking ground. 2. A clear framework helps manage complexity. Projects can be highly complex, involving multiple stakeholders, dependencies, and deliverables. A structured planning framework helps simplify this complexity by breaking down the project into manageable components, assigning clear ownership and accountability, ensuring alignment between different project teams and departments, establishing performance measurement metrics for tracking progress. By following a framework, project managers can ensure that every step is methodically planned and executed. The project lifecycle, initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closing, serves as a guiding structure, ensuring smooth transitions between project phases. Example: in software development, companies use planning frameworks like Agile, Scrum, or Waterfall to structure their work. Without a framework, development teams might work in an uncoordinated manner, leading to missed deadlines and feature creep. With a defined framework, projects are structured in phases such as requirement gathering, design, development, testing, and deployment. 3. Defining objectives, scope, and deliverables is foundational. Clearly defining the project's objectives, scope, and deliverables is essential for setting expectations and preventing scope creep. Each of these components plays a critical role. Objectives establishes the purpose of the project and measurable success criteria. Scope defines what work is included and excluded in the project. Deliverables specifies the tangible outcomes that will be produced. A well-defined scope statement prevents uncontrolled project expansion, where additional features, requirements, or changes are introduced without proper evaluation. Example: imagine a company planning to launch a new mobile app. If the scope is not clearly defined, the development team might keep adding features beyond what was initially planned, causing delays and budget overruns. However, if the scope is defined as develop and launch a mobile app for customer order tracking with 3 core features: real-time tracking, push notifications, and order history, then any additional feature request would require formal approval. 4. The Work Breakdown Structure, WBS, is a powerful tool for structuring work. The Work Breakdown Structure, WBS, is a key tool that enables teams to break a project into smaller, manageable tasks, establish clear dependencies between tasks and phases, assign responsibilities to the right team members, track progress efficiently by monitoring each work package. Example of WBS implementation. For an event planning project, the WBS might be structured as follows. Level 1, Event Planning Project. Level 2, Venue and Logistics. Level 3, Book Venue. Level 3, Arrange Transportation. Level 2, Marketing and Promotion. Level 3, Develop Marketing Materials. Level 3, Social Media Campaigns. Level 2, Guest and Attendee Management. Level 3, Send Invitations. Level 3. Confirm registrations. By creating a structured hierarchy of tasks, teams can execute each component systematically while maintaining visibility into overall progress. 5. Resource planning ensures efficiency and sustainability. Projects rely on 4 key types of resources: human resources, team members, subject matter experts, and external consultants. Material resources, physical materials, software, tools, and office supplies. Financial resources, budget, funding, and financial planning. Time resources, project deadlines, task durations, and scheduling constraints. Proper resource allocation ensures that projects remain cost-effective and sustainable. Poor resource management can lead to overburdening team members, causing burnout and inefficiencies, delays due to material shortages or supply chain disruptions, budget overruns caused by inaccurate cost estimations. Example: a construction project might suffer delays if critical materials are not ordered in advance. By proactively planning material procurement, teams can avoid shortages and ensure a smooth workflow. Final thoughts and looking ahead. To summarize this section, we've explored the importance of project planning and the critical components that contribute to project success. Project planning is the foundation for achieving successful outcomes. A structured framework helps teams manage complexity effectively. Clearly defining objectives, scope, and deliverables prevents misunderstandings. The work breakdown structure, WBS, simplifies execution by breaking work into manageable components. Resource planning ensures that time, money, and effort are allocated efficiently. Next, we'll explore scheduling and resource management strategies in greater detail. You'll learn how to create project schedules, optimize resource allocation, and balance workloads effectively. These strategies will help ensure that your projects are not only well-planned but also executed efficiently. Let's move forward.